Hello everyone, my name is Rick and here we are again recording another episode of our Neo4j Graph Database podcast. And today we're doing another remote session with Jean Villedieu from Linkurious. Jean is in France today. I'm here in cloudy Antwerp. Welcome, Jean.
Hello, Rick. Thank you very much for inviting me to the podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great.
I'm gonna find them off.
So Jean, like always, we have three parts in this podcast, and I'd really like you to introduce yourself a little bit to our listeners.
Sure. So my name is Jean Villedieu, and I am one of the co-founders of Linkurious. At Linkurious, I'm in charge of sales and marketing. And Linkurious is a French startup based in Paris, founded 2 years ago, and we specialize in graph visualization. What that means is that we have a software that runs on top of Neo4j and that provides Neo4j users a nice interface with which they can browse their data, explore it visually, and extract information that's within their graph.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Linkurious is a product that people can buy, right?
Exactly. You can visit a website at http linkurio.us where you can find more information about all products and you can buy and download it.
But it's also an open source part, as I understand it, right? There's a part of it that's open source.
Actually, it's a good question. We recently released Linkurious.js, a graph visualization library, and it has a dual license with an open source license and a commercial one.
Okay.
You can find more information about that on GitHub and on a website, which is actually going to be updated in a few days or weeks.
Like any open source tool, it's great that you can sort of explore it and have the community look at the internals, but at the same time, there needs to be a business model for it to survive, right? So we're on the same page there. So Jean, I really the next question for me is, what attracted you guys to graphs? Why do you love graphs so much, and how did you get into it? Could you give us a little bit more insight there?
Sure. I co-founded Linkurious with Sébastien Eman. I'm going to talk a little bit about him, and then I'll talk about myself. Sébastien has a long love story with graphs. I think he started a project called Gephi about 6 or 7 years ago. It's an open source graph visualization software.
That's very well known. Gephi everyone uses Gephi. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's been in love with graphs ever since. For me, it has been more recent, I'd say. During my studies, I started using Gephi for competitive intelligence. I really loved it because I thought it was powerful. It was a completely new way for me, to understand data, and at the same time, it was very beautiful. So it was very exciting to.
Beautiful is good.
Exactly. That's. I'm not ashamed of that. It's one of the things that attracted me, to graph visualization in the first place, and it's still something that I find exciting. So I started, diving into Gephi and graph visualization. I thought it was very interesting, and then I met Sébastien and I had the opportunity to start Linkurious. And ever since, what has been very fascinating with our ongoing work at Linkurious is that we get to interact with people who are innovators, working with data in new ways to solve very hard problems in the field of financial services, in the field of security in general, in the field of health, and we get to play a very modest part in their journey. by helping them, understand their data. And
Great.
that's what we love.
What's like the most exciting case that you've had in the past couple of years? Can you give us one example, maybe?
Don't wanna hear about it. Every single one.
Sure. Something that was very interesting for us was working with the ICIG. It's a conglomerate of data journalists, and they used Neo4j and Linkurious to explore data from HSBC and work on a potential very large scale tax fraud scheme or alleged tax fraud scheme.
Is that the case that was in the news a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Wow.
And that has been discovered by a combination of Neo4j and Linkurious.
Super. I was always thinking that I could use visualizations to find new beers, but you can do more than that. Okay.
From the queen of knows about it. From the queen of England to the hounds of hell.
Jean, we'll switch to the next and the last question. Where do you think this is going in the next couple of years? Where is the graph space, the graph data space going? But also, where is Linkurious going in the next couple of years? Could you help us there a little bit?
Sure. I think graphs will still be a niche compared, to relational databases in general, but it's a very quickly growing niche, and it's going to be very important for companies working with large volumes of data. We think that more and more people are going to be interacting with graphs. It's going to be something very common in the business world, and we're exciting to see new use cases, new applications, almost on a daily basis. So there is a bright future for graph technologies. And as a small company, Linkurious intends to play a part, in democratizing graph technologies by offering the solution that everyday business people, will use to understand their graph data. We want to be the reference for that.
That's super. Thank you so much, Jean. It was a great talk. We're going to wrap up now. We want to keep these podcasts short and sweet. Thanks a lot. If people want to know more about either Neo4j or Linkurious, you can go to neo4j.com or linkurio.us. Thank you again, Jean, and I look forward to speaking to you soon again.
Thank you very much, Rick.
Bye.
Have a nice day.